was a hire that drew attention from around the country. Today marks 100 days since Luke Fickell was hired as Wisconsin's head football coach. Our Leah Doherty joins us now. Leah, Coach Fickell, best described this time to you as a whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, Maria, it's just like jumping on a moving train, right? You first have to build your staff, hit the recruiting trail, not to mention get his family here. I sat down one-on-one with Luke Fickell to discuss what life has looked like these first 100 days.
The 31st head football coach at the University of Wisconsin, Luke Fickell.
Does it feel like it's been 100 days?
Maybe 300, I mean. I don't know, they all kind of run together. I mean, there's so many things, whether it's recruiting, whether it's preparing for spring ball and things like that. So I think you kind of lose sight of it, and especially when it's, so new.
How quick was the timeline of sitting down with your family, saying, hey, we're doing this, and then it becoming official and coming out publicly?
Yeah, pretty quick. And, the good fortunes is, we'd had these conversations over the last few years, my wife and I. We've got a few kids, so we don't usually get them involved until the end of some sorts. But, over the last few years, we kind of prepared in case, the right thing came up for us and our family. And, so everything kind of happened fast. Your oldest son still playing at Cincinnati. Is that a difficult conversation to have of, hey, I think I'm going to move on and go somewhere else? What does that look like? It is. And probably didn't tell anything until maybe 4 or 5 hours before, we became a little bit more public. It's still a difficult situation, but, he's been mature about it. We've been mature about it. That went into consideration. There's definitely all the kids kind of in the family went into consideration. That was, a big one. And your family, the younger ones, they still haven't all moved here, right? So what's a timeline of maybe the next 100 days, what it looks like for the whole family? That's the most difficult thing. There's a lot to do in whatever, 100 days or 18 months, and some say. It's a good thing that they're probably not here because you wouldn't be able to spend as much time, but it's really nice when you can actually go home and maybe get your mind off of things for a few minutes. You're living in an apartment right now, right? Well, it went from a fraternity house living with the strength coaches to my own apartment now, like it was in college. But it's all a part of the process. I'd say a little lonely at times, but sometimes it's not bad as well. Hopefully here at the end of the month, we'll get into a real home. A lot of players had been vocal about wanting Jim Leonhard to have this position. How have you won over the locker room? Is that a process that's still ongoing? That first, really 3 weeks was a big deal. I think more than anything was the relationship with Jim. I think the relationship with all the coaches. I think they gave those guys, some really good insight on our situation and what was best. And, I really don't believe we'd be in the situation we are right now, meaning the team we have, meaning maintaining the nucleus and keeping as many guys we did, if it wasn't for Jim. Spring ball is going to be here just in a few weeks. What expectations do you have from this group? Well, we don't win championships in spring football, but you can lose championships in spring ball. And I mean that if you don't have a system to what it is you're doing and understand that it's, a process. It's about the fundamentals. It's about developing the habits that we need, that leads you to successes in the long run. What are you grateful for to be in this position? Probably as much as anything is the players. You think you're the greatest coach in the world, and the reality is if, I could name off 5 or 6 guys right now that they didn't do what they did, and they didn't make me look better than I really am and have the successes that they had that ultimately give us these opportunities. There's no way I would be here. I assume a lot of people when you're out come up to you, want to say hi, want to meet you. What has that been like? It's awesome. It really is. I mean, we want to create that buzz. It's a lot better than the alternative. I've been at a place at a point in time when all of a sudden they were whispering about you and not talking to you, and it's not the route you want to go. But really the only things I've done, I mean, I've gotten out to mostly the high schools, obviously through recruiting and things like that, and the welcome there, the acceptance, they realize, I think this community in general, the state in particular, the program is much bigger than even the people. That's what I'm impressed with as much as anything is, I'm not from here. I didn't play here, and there is a bit of a difference there, but they've embraced me as a part of them in everything that I've done. And that is just a small taste of our conversation. We've got an extended version if you'd like to see more of the interview coming up over on our website at NBC15.com. In the studio, Leah Doherty, NBC 15 Sports.